your style, kid. I like your style.
So, I have yet to watch many animes, and I would like to know from both of you, which one should I start with?
Ho 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 ho. Let the competition begin.
Well,
there goes my first 5 choices. There's a couple good ones I could recommend. I think everyone, whether they're into anime or not, should watch Cowboy Bebop. Great show. One of those shows that got me back into anime after I'd been out of it for a while because life gets in the way. Yeah, that's my pick.
Yeah, that's a good start. Cowboy Bebop. Awesome show. I have one line in that show.
You do?
Yeah.
Amazing.
One line. I don't know the line, but I have one line. It was a long time ago. They go to a planet where there's a bunch of kids, and my kid has a pot on his head. My character's name was Pothead.
Excuse us, I need to get a selfie. Holy crap! Now I'm like nervous. Yeah, Cowboy Bebop. There's tons of others, but if you start there, you can't go wrong. It's also a really good movie.
Right, I don't know your name, sorry.
Oh, I'm Bryce. A different one other than Cowboy Bebop? Well, what do you like? Do you like comedy or action, or do you want something with everything in it?
Well, my sister's trying to get me into Elf and Weed.
Judging by that response, maybe you shouldn't watch that. Comedy. I do like Bacchanal. That is pretty. Actually, before I recorded Durarara, I watched all of Bacchanal. Yes, and I loved it.
Man, Bacchanal is one of my favorite things ever I've gotten to work on. It's so great. I'll tell the story because I think it's really funny. One of my favorite things to encounter at cons are Isaac and Miria cosplayers. Because they're always so delightfully funny, and they always like have different costume changes and stuff, because Isaac and Miria are always cosplaying, so you have to play it off by like, well, today we're the cowboy, and then tomorrow we'll be like the tux and tails, and then we'll be the nun and the priest, whatever. It just keeps going and going. The very first time the show had just come out, and everyone was really, really enthusiastic about it. And I was at a con in Boston, and for opening ceremonies, I really had to pee. So I'm like, I'll be right back. Just give me a few minutes stall. I'll be back so I can get up on stage and say, hi everyone, welcome to Boston, glad to be here. And so I run, and they're like, just be careful, have fun, make good choices, and off I go. And as I'm washing my hands at the sink, I notice the guy next to me is dressed as Cowboy Isaac. And I'm freaking out, I'm over there going, so I turn to him and I'm like, excuse me, not to be weird, but are you cosplaying Isaac from Bacchanal? No kidding, he turns to me and goes, yes, as a matter of fact, oh my god! He like throws himself at me and like jumping up. He goes outside and introduces me to his girlfriend who's dressed as Miria, and I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing! And I was totally late to opening ceremonies because of it, but very glad I was. And they're like, yes, I'll shut up now so you can ask your question. I hope your question wasn't for me.
So, when you're in the studio, recording show, how helpful are sound engineers?
Oh, really helpful.
And mix engineers.
Oh my god, extremely helpful. Timing is a huge thing when you're dubbing, because obviously you don't want it to look like Godzilla. You want lines to actually match a little bit. You know, you want it to work. You want it to look like the voice is coming out of the character. And you know, it's difficult to be perfect every single time. So the sound engineers with you have Pro Tools, and Pro Tools is a voice actor's best friend because it can slide you 1 frame left or 1 frame right or 10 frames left if you're absolutely terrible, or a minute left if you want to hit a scene from the last scene, or you know.
Yeah.
So it's extremely helpful.
Yeah, and engineers, and I've worked with them as in a position of a director as well. And an engineer is absolutely worth their weight in gold as far as I'm concerned. Both mixing engineers and recording engineers, especially recording engineers, because what they do, most recording engineers come into it from, they've usually gone to school learning how to record musicians generally. So when they come to a studio like, say, Funimation or Bang Zoom or whatever, and they have to learn how to dub, it's a very, very different animal, much more involved, much more intricate. They have to be just absolute gods at what they do, or it slows the session down and they don't last, unfortunately. So a good sound engineer is amazing. A good mix engineer just brings out something in your performance in the long run, with like just the way they level everything, they balance the music and the sound effects and your own performance, and so that you end up hearing something that you didn't think you even did. Like, wow, you hear your own voice in a way that you never have before if a good mix engineer gets all of it. So yeah, they're really amazing people to work with. They are intensely genius. So yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, because engineers don't get enough credit by God.
Definitely don't.